Welcome, acolytes. Asmongold's on it. He crossed the line. He talks about Hassan. Now, I don't know. By the way, I actually looked it up. Hassanabi was banned, and now he's unbanned. Of course, it was just a matter of time. But yeah, I actually didn't believe this at the start, but he was banned for a short time. Let's see what Asmongold has to say about it, because Hassan hates Asmongold just because Asmongold is I would say a neutral force on the political scale. He just has his thinking, and he doesn't care about any of the sides, as I see it at least. So, and I think, by the way, the same way, basically. I just want to have everything as good as possible, and if it means that I'm going to tickle the pickle of somebody, well, else from the other side, I don't care. But let's see what this is about.
Obvious that Twitch has two different forms of punishment, right? Where Twitch streamers that embody certain political values are not being punished at the same ratio that an average person would be punished.
This is what happens when you don't kill every single slave owner after slavery. We would have socialism at this point if someone just went out of their way and...
Is this guy banned? Did they ban him?
Nope.
Let me see if they did.
Hello?
30K to anyone who will make this dipshit disappear.
Holy shit, guys. If you live in Florida, I have an opportunity for you. If you want to earn $100,000, let me know.
It's like you
What a fucking bitch, dude. Honestly, to be like, oh, threatening violence against an elected official. I'm sorry, I'm a goddamn American. I'm a goddamn red-blooded American. That is my right. The tree of tyranny must be watered with the blood of tyrants, or however it goes. The tree of liberty must be watered with the blood of tyrants every now and then, okay? Shut the fuck up.
Would you tell that joke about Donald Trump?
Again, yes, I would.
Then do it. I mean, you know, again, the simplest answer, in my opinion, is most often the correct one. The reason why people like Hassan get unbanned very quickly and they don't get punished as much as other people do. And again, like, if they're acknowledging that he did this...
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott.
Twitch's moderation and Twitch's team, I think, is compromised. I think that they're biased, and I think that they don't have any principles at all other than responding to controversies. Other than that, they won't.
I think Asmongold is correct.
He made a whole video about this. There were like a couple of things that he brought up about me. Another big issue that a lot of these people have is that they think that the reason that they get banned and the reason that they get in trouble is because of somebody else, right? It's like, it's my fault. It's Ethan's fault. The fact is that sometimes people are just victims of their own bad decision making, right?
I think Asmongold is covering this.
And by the way, 2 points here. Yes, Twitch at this point is a softcore site that actually only bans the ones that from the right perspective. And yeah, that's just what Twitch is. So I'm not gonna start anything on Twitch right now because I know I'm gonna get banned. Just because I'm a neutral force, and small streamers that actually are from a different occupation or thinking will get banned. But as it is, and the second thing is, playing the victim is extremely effective. You cannot forget this, acolytes. Playing the victim brings you bonus brownie points or something like that, where people will say, oh, you poor thing, you actually didn't mean it, blah blah blah. And we have a scumbag or a criminal worship culture right now, where people who actually do very bad stuff get away with it without any kind of repercussions, so, or minimal repercussions. So the mix of everything of this is just terrible, acolytes.
Because he wants Twitch to see it. He's done this a couple times in the past couple of weeks. I understand. We are ideological.
I think that that is partially true. And I think that Hassan should look at the bigger picture and see the problem of allowing extremism on the website and how dangerous that's going to be for the website as a whole. My opinion is that if they don't tone down extremism, what will happen eventually is that there will be an extremist event. That extremist event will cause Twitch to tighten up their policies and remove content that both he and I do. And if he can't see that writing on the wall, I think that he should pay better attention.
And he actually means another extremist event, because there already was one where this guy and his posse, I don't even remember if him and his posse were there and basically just in a totally racist way put people into categories. It was so disgusting, but because it came from from one extremist side, it was fine for Twitch, and Twitch even organized it. Of course, people got banned for a few days, but honestly, doing something so heinous and just being banned for a few days, nah. There has to be a second event, maybe more heinous than this, maybe a bit less, and before Twitch even starts to act any kind, like somehow, to actually remove this.
Gold and I disagree vehemently on a lot of issues, all the way from the history of Nazi Germany down to the fact that immigrants are not actually contributing to the American crime rates in the way that the Republican administration presents it.
In the way that they present it, but they are contributing to crime rates because they're here illegally.
Correctly.
And also, it's not immigrants, it is illegal aliens. Which are
Correctly.
two different things. This
Yes.
is, again, it's a deliberate misunderstanding, a deliberate misinterpretation. Same as we disagree about the history of Nazi Germany, the implication of that, right? A lot of implications here. We love implications.
They're not.
And by the way, the history of this is simple. He has just a misinformation. It's not that Asmongold thinks that Nazi Germany was something good. This guy believes that specifically those people targeted books about genderism just because of genderism, not because they were written by a foreigner. No, it was just purely because of his beliefs.
Destroying
So stupid as
our
fuck.
culture in the way that Asmongold approaches the subject matter.
I've never said it that way, by the way.
There's plenty of disagreements there, and I think that he's doing this deliberately, I will say, in an effort to, shit
Well,
stir.
every video that I make and everything that you show on your stream, including this here, is done deliberately. Obviously, that's the case.
Try to get me banned, which worked.
And I am
If it's
happy
too
that
short, maybe
Asmongold
it's out of
finally
context.
realized it.
I hope so. I definitely do. Hopefully, it's out of context. How are you gonna?
Now, once he said this, does Asmongold go back and seek out the context? No, he doesn't. Instead, he follows through, basically packaging this as a... If you cared about Medicare or Medicaid fraud,
This is, by the way, the clip of me watching the context.
you would kill Rick Scott, is because,
Yeah.
and not make him a prominent part of the Republican Party, is because he, to this day, is still
Yeah, this is
He
the video of
repeats
me
it.
watching.
also known as committing the largest
Yes.
Medicare fraud
Yes.
in U.S. history.
Yes.
Oh God, what are we doing? What is this, bro? Are you kidding me? So the context makes it worse.
It's disappointing to see him. I did look at the context. There's a video of me looking at the context. The context makes it worse. I don't know what he's doing. Would you tell that joke about Donald Trump?
I think people would tell way crazier jokes about Donald Trump, and people have told way crazier jokes about Donald Trump.
He's right. People, but not you. And there's a reason for that, and you know that reason. Everybody knows that reason. And that reason is why you got in trouble. You're absolutely right that yes, there are other people on the internet that say crazy stuff too. That's absolutely true. I think he's right. And again, you don't actually think this isn't a call to violence. What you think is that it's not a big deal.
My statement was hyperbolic.
And also, did he ever delete that tweet, the makeshift gun that they used to kill Shinzo Abe? Twitter made him delete it. Right, okay, so it's a pattern of behavior.
But the intention of it was not a call to violence directly against a sitting senator, but instead was to show the...
That's good, but it did sound like that. It sounded exactly like a call to violence. Like, if you read the chat after that, I would say that a lot of people were probably thinking the exact same thing.
They would agree
That's
it was a call
what
to
they were
violence.
typing in his chat at the same time.
The hypocrisy of the Republican Party in terms of how little they truly care about Medicare and Medicaid fraud, because that happens at the point of the provider.
He brings up a great point, and I think he's right about this. But the issue is that you're muddying the waters and you're damaging your own argument argument, and you're making yourself seem like an extremist when you're calling for killing people, when you actually have fundamentally a strong argument and a good policy position. And the ironic thing about this is that I remember I saw Hassan's interview with CNN, and Hassan even said what do Democrats need to do to get people back, and he said have good policies. It's about how you're communicating it in a way that's hostile.
Obviously, I shouldn't have used hyperbolic language, and there's definitely some ownership.
Okay, there you go. All right, problem solved. Yep, he agrees.
That I must take. Some apologies there. I should not have said Mike Johnson should kill Rick Scott. I should have simply said
He didn't say Mike Johnson. He said you should.
There's about $50 billion estimated lost every year in Medicaid just in fraud alone. Nope.
That fraud is not coming from individuals, it's coming from providers. They're not tackling providers. They're not actually going after like false billing. They are trying to cut recipients, okay? It is not happening at the point of recipients.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott, okay?
And I think that that's what was communicated to the audience, because the audience was spamming things like Luigi.
Johnson should punish Rick Scott,
And
perhaps with the, maximum punishment, whatever that would be.
Right, which is fair. And I think that if he had said that, by the way, there would have never been any controversy.
By the way, I also agree. Because the medical scams are very, very... It kills a lot of people yearly. It's the same thing with insurance. It's the same thing with judges. Every single one of those is in a position where corruption is just irrelevant and they won't get any kind of repercussions for their actions. While I don't advocate for actually offing them, I would wish that they actually get the maximum sentence punishment for their behavior. Optimally, lifetime. They have so many innocents on their conscience. Every single one, well, there are probably some good ones, but let's be honest, 98%, no, not innocent. If you work in that kind of thing, probably you just get used to the corruption.
About this. The difference is about advocating for vigilante justice versus advocating for a criminal process. I actually have the same opinion, is that the people that run companies like this should face personal charges. I just don't think you should advocate to kill them. And I try not to go too super hard on it. I'll link you guys the video real quick before I get into it. And
he's linking the Ethan Klein video to his audience because, to show support.
Yeah, there's the video. It's the Ethan video.
Perhaps this is the reason why Ethan Klein doesn't talk about Asmongold and his apologia for certain regimes of the past.
Which one?
Just let me intervene for one singular moment, because my brain is melting. The assumption is that Asmon is linking H3's video to his chat because he's collaborating with Ethan Klein to take down Hassan.
And
he's linking the Ethan Klein video to his audience because,
Newsflash. That's what good reaction channels should always do, but I'm sure you wouldn't know anything about that.
Link the video. There's the video. I'll link the video again. This is so funny. I'll link the video. I'm going to link the video again. Let me link the video. I'll link the video, guys. Give him a like. Give him a sub if you like the video.
Oh, I almost forgot. He also pretty much called Asmon a Nazi, but I'll let my employee handle that. Back to you, Baldy.
Ethan, who really...
If you wonder, the guy that just talked is the editor. I don't know if this is his voice or an AI voice, because it's a fucking good voice. I love those British sounding like old man things. But Elon Musk actually thought that the editor of Asmongold is the boss of Asmongold. That the editors control what Asmongold is saying. That's why that was so funny.
Cares about anti-Semitism, of course.
This is it's another, and the obvious implication is that I am a Nazi apologist, right? That's clearly what he's implying. Obviously, you can't say that, because if you say that, it sounds insane and retarded.
Correct.
So the only thing that you can do is imply that and hope that the schizos that watch the video will get the message.
That's why he constantly comes after me, someone he knows has a long track record, alongside him at times, attacking anti-Semites and explaining to people what famous dog whistles are and things of that nature. But that'll be for a different day.
People are so ideological. It's ironic that he brings up dog whistles, because this is exactly... didn't Twitch ban the word Zionist and using that as a slur because his chat was using it as a dog whistle to be anti-Semitic? I feel like if we want to talk about dog whistles, I mean, that's a pretty big one, right? I think that's just a whistle. Let's see here. We got one more.
But spends most of his time simply sitting around and reacting to Donald Trump. He is now officially, by my estimations, a larger right-wing political commentator than even the likes of Ben Shapiro. Very successful.
I don't know about that. Now, this is I love this glaze, right? I mean, if you look at these numbers, let's zoom in and look at these numbers. Wow, those are great numbers. We love those numbers. Wow.
Yep.
Ben Shapiro is infinitely more well-known than I am, right? He's been doing this for years. He's been on mainstream media for over 10 years. Just because I'm getting more views on YouTube doesn't mean that I'm more popular than somebody. But, okay, that's fine. Let's move on.
Than even the likes of Ben Shapiro.
Fair enough.
Very successful in this field. His videos reacting to Donald Trump get millions of views, more so than the
Which, by the way, keep in mind, this was a joke video that was AI made about them fighting because Donald Trump, if you look at it here, Donald Trump never actually punched Zelensky on camera.
More so than the Daily Wire could ever dream of. Asmongold also is the largest.
Well, the reason why the videos are so popular because they're not necessarily coming at it from a right-wing perspective. They're coming at it from a nuanced, balanced, reasonable perspective of what I believe to be the average American. And I think that those videos, the reason why they're so popular is that even if people might disagree with the conclusion of them, the video was still respected as an attempt at truth. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people watch the content. That's the reason why a lot of people like it. It's because they like seeing at least some degree of attempt at discourse. It's not because I'm more educated, I know more about it than other people. It's not because I'm funnier. I tell jokes about it, but at the end of the day, the main reason why is because I do try to think about how people feel and then express it from their perspective. And I think that that's a good thing, and that's something that I try to have. That's always been the case. So the reason why these videos are extremely popular is because they do appeal to people that are on both sides of the political spectrum.
Just political content creator on...
Yes, and by the way, not just on the political spectrum, also to neutral people. Even people who actually think neutrally about this entire thing, in the middle, appreciate that he tries to actually go the extra steps of actually understanding what different people are thinking about right now. And it's not even Americans that watch this, but also people from a different country, just for the pure fact that they appreciate, yes, that he actually tries to see it from the middle and just tries to think about the entire thing logically.
Twitch in general. He's the largest political streamer now. He's double my size. He's always been double my size, but he's now double my size when it comes to political commentary as well. So
by the way, what Hassan is trying to do is just put Asmongold into a box where he can attack him without any repercussions. That's a tactic that works, acolytes.
I mean, listen, I think you guys are very lucky that I am the most humble and modest streamer. This stuff would probably affect an average person's ego a lot. Doesn't affect me, doesn't bother me. And so I don't even see it this way. I think he's trying to just say this in order to create a narrative of him being the underdog, like farm sympathy.
Let's see what the largest free speech defender had to say. He actually voluntarily brings this up in a YouTube video called "What the fuck is Twitch doing?" YouTube videos from 2 days ago with 1 million views. The first 13 minutes of it is just reacting to the latest Ethan Klein video, who is falsely smearing me as someone who doesn't care about Israeli civilians or whatever, which is obviously incorrect. He packaged that up with the Libs of TikTok video to call for my banning.
It was not just Libs of TikTok. I think that this is, again, it's an optics game where you're saying it's Libs of TikTok because Libs of TikTok is kind of a moron in a lot of cases. And so it's like, well, this person is doing it. And it's about kind of creating it to be a partisan political issue rather than just simply a behavior that's bad. You know, according to Hassan, it's my fault. It's Ethan's fault. It's Destiny's fault. Libs of TikTok's fault. It's everybody's fault except for his. It seems Hassan has very bad faith towards you. People can be bad faith towards me all they want. The fact is that I'm still going to be here doing my thing. And the more that people are bad faith towards me and the more that people are unfair towards me, the more they will alienate average, moderate, and reasonable people. because average, moderate, and reasonable people do not want to be gaslit into extremism. And
Fair
so
enough.
when I see people that are, you know, crashing out or getting really mad, the way that I usually approach that is I let them spin out. Go ahead, do it. And that's fine with me. You know, you just don't need to make calls for violence. I think that he acknowledged that. I'm glad that he did, and hopefully he doesn't do it again.
Dude, I would... I don't want to say anything too crazy here, but I doubt somehow that they're going to tackle that. What are they going to do? Kill Rick Scott, dude? Are you kidding me?
Mr. Vice President, thank you for being with us.
Oh, for fuck! This is beautiful. Okay, as it is, yes. I think acolytes, you could see exactly what's happening here. It's in the essence, it's the same old, same old. Hassan's trying to be as disgusting as possible, to actually call out for violence, call out for very bad things to happen, just so he, in his thinking, is actually supported, so he can be as racist, degenerate as he wants, but everyone else is the bad guy, no matter what, no matter if you just disagree a smidge with him, you're done. And Asmongold is doing something so good, and I just respect him for his patience on this one, that he just says, okay, attack me. You're gonna suffer under it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not in a year, but I'm gonna profit from it. And this is the best effing thing you can do. To do it, you need a lot of patience and be actually quite smart about it, because, well, it is what it is, I guess. That's just how the world works. But he does a really good job here. I just... Damn. But, as it is, acolytes, good night.